Have you ever found yourself feeling stuck in a negative spiral, unable to overcome challenges, or constantly doubting your abilities? Do you often wonder why some people seem to effortlessly navigate life's difficulties while others struggle with every little setback? What if I told you that these struggles might be linked to the strength of your mind? Imagine a person who, despite their best efforts, constantly feels overwhelmed by minor issues. They seem unable to bounce back from failure or criticism and are always seeking reassurance from others. This individual might appear to have a weak mindset, which affects their overall quality of life. But don't worry. Understanding these signs can help you transform your mental resilience. Welcome to Wisdom Woven, where we dive deep into understanding and improving ourselves. In today's video, we'll explore the 10 signs of a weak-minded person. We promise valuable insights and transformative advice that will guide you toward a stronger, more resilient mindset. Remember, there are so many views on this channel, but only 0.2% subscribe. So, if you find this video helpful, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us create more content that can make a difference in your life. In this video, we'll break down the key signs that indicate a weak mindset. We'll discuss how these traits manifest in daily life and how they can hold you back from achieving your full potential. By recognizing these signs, you'll gain the knowledge needed to strengthen your mental resilience and overcome life's challenges more effectively. Let's embark on this journey together and explore how a weak mindset can affect various aspects of life. Through this exploration, we hope to inspire positive changes and empower you to build a stronger, more resilient mind. Stay tuned as we uncover these signs and offer practical tips to help you develop a robust mental attitude. Don't forget to stay engaged throughout the video, as the insights shared today could be the key to unlocking your true potential. Let's get started. Lack of self-control and discipline. Imagine trying to move a heavy stone without any leverage or tools. It's incredibly difficult, and you may not get very far. This is what life can feel like for someone who lacks self-control and discipline. They often struggle to maintain focus or follow through with their goals. Let's delve into why self-control and discipline are so crucial and what happens when they are lacking. Self-control is like a mental muscle. It helps you stay focused on your goals and resist distractions. Discipline, on the other hand, is the practice of sticking to your commitments even when you don't feel like it. Together, these qualities enable you to overcome obstacles and achieve success. Without them, your journey becomes much harder. Think about a student who has difficulty studying for exams. They might start with good intentions, but quickly get distracted by their phone, social media, or other activities. Their lack of self-control leads to procrastination, and their discipline falters. As a result, they struggle to perform well and achieve their academic goals. This example illustrates how a lack of self-control and discipline can hinder progress and success. In Buddhism, self-control is closely related to the concept of mindfulness. Mindfulness teaches us to be aware of our thoughts, emotions, and actions. By practicing mindfulness, we can develop better self-control and make more deliberate choices. When we become mindful, we start to notice our impulses and reactions, which helps us manage them more effectively. A person lacking self-control might find themselves easily swayed by their emotions or external circumstances. They might react impulsively, making decisions based on temporary feelings rather than long-term goals. This can lead to regret and dissatisfaction. In contrast, a disciplined person can pause, reflect, and make thoughtful decisions, even when faced with challenges. Another aspect to consider is how a lack of discipline affects daily routines. For instance, someone who struggles with discipline might have trouble sticking to a regular exercise routine or maintaining a healthy diet. They may start with enthusiasm, but soon give up when faced with temptations or obstacles. This inconsistency prevents them from experiencing the benefits of their efforts and can lead to a cycle of frustration and failure. Discipline and self-control are also vital in managing relationships. A person who lacks these qualities might find it challenging to communicate effectively, handle conflicts, or maintain commitments. They may react impulsively during disagreements, leading to misunderstandings and strained relationships. On the other hand, someone with self-control can approach conflicts calmly and work towards resolution. In Buddhism, the practice of discipline is known as sila, which refers to ethical conduct and moral behavior. Sila encourages individuals to live with integrity, follow ethical guidelines, and cultivate positive habits. By integrating these principles into daily life, one can develop greater self-control and discipline. To build self-control and discipline, start by setting small, achievable goals. Focus on one area where you want to improve and gradually work towards it. For example, if you want to develop a consistent exercise routine, start with short, manageable workouts and gradually increase the intensity. Celebrate your progress along the way, and don't be too hard on yourself if you face setbacks. Creating a structured routine can also help. Plan your day with specific times for tasks and activities. This structure provides a framework that supports discipline and helps you stay on track. It also minimizes the chances of getting sidetracked by distractions. Remember, developing self-control and discipline is a gradual process. It requires patience and persistence. By being mindful of your goals, practicing discipline, and staying focused, you can enhance your ability to achieve success and lead a more fulfilling life. As you work on building these qualities, reflect on your progress regularly. Notice how improved self-control and discipline positively impact your life, relationships, and overall well-being. With time and effort, you'll find that these traits become stronger, leading to greater personal growth and success. In conclusion, self-control and discipline are essential for navigating life's challenges and achieving your goals. By understanding their importance and actively working to develop them, you can overcome obstacles and build a more resilient and successful life. Fear of change and the unknown. Imagine standing on the edge of a cliff, looking down at the vast sea below. The water is dark, and you can't see what's beneath the surface. It's scary, isn't it? This fear of the unknown, this hesitation to take a step forward, is something many people feel in their everyday lives. But what if I told you that life is full of such cliffs, and only by jumping can you learn to fly? One of the strongest signs of a weak mind is the fear of change. Many people are comfortable with what they know, even if it's not perfect or fulfilling. They cling to their routines, afraid to try something new. Why? Because change is uncertain. It brings unknowns, and the unknown can feel like a dark, endless sea. Take a moment to think about your own life. Have there been times when you wanted to try something new but held back because you were afraid? Maybe you wanted to start a new job, move to a new city, or even just change a daily habit. But the fear of not knowing what would happen next stopped you. This is a common experience, but it doesn't have to be your reality. A weak-minded person sees change as a threat. They imagine all the things that could go wrong. What if I fail? What if people laugh at me? What if I lose when I already have? These questions play over and over in their mind, paralyzing them with fear. They choose to stay in their comfort zone, where everything is familiar, even if it's not what makes them happy. On the other hand, a strong mind welcomes change. It sees change not as a threat, but as an opportunity. What new experiences will I have? What new skills will I learn? How will this make me grow? These are the questions that a strong mind asks. Change becomes a path to growth, not a road to fear. Imagine a river. A weak mind is like a rock in that river, unmoving, getting worn down by the flow of water over time. It resists the current, trying to stay in the same place. But a strong mind is like the water itself. It flows, adapts, and changes direction when it meets an obstacle. The water doesn't fear the unknown path ahead. It simply goes with the flow, knowing that every turn is part of its journey. In Buddhism, we often say, change is the only constant. Everything in life is in a state of change, whether we like it or not. Seasons change, the weather changes, even our own bodies and minds change every day. Resisting change is like trying to hold on to sand. The tighter you grip, the more it slips through your fingers. Fear of change also comes from a lack of trust in oneself. A weak-minded person doubts their own ability to handle new situations. They think, I can't do this. It's too hard. I'm not ready. This lack of self-confidence keeps them trapped in the same place. But remember, every time you face a new challenge, you gain new strength. Just like a muscle grows stronger with exercise, so does the mind grow stronger with each challenge it faces. Think of a butterfly. It starts as a caterpillar, living its life on the ground, afraid of the sky. But one day it changes. It builds a cocoon, which might feel like a prison, a scary place where it's all alone. But inside that cocoon, magic happens. The caterpillar changes, and it emerges as a butterfly, ready to explore the world. If the caterpillar was too afraid to enter the cocoon, it would never learn to fly. This is the beauty of change. It transforms us. It takes us from where we are and leads us to where we can be. But this transformation requires us to step into the unknown, to embrace uncertainty, and to have faith in our own growth. A weak-minded person also fears the unknown because they seek control. They want everything planned, everything certain, but life isn't like that. Life is unpredictable. It's like the weather. It changes without warning. A strong mind learns to dance in the rain instead of waiting for the storm to pass. It understands that not everything can be controlled, and that's okay. Instead of fearing change, embrace it. Look at it as a chance to start fresh, to reinvent yourself, to become better. When faced with something new, don't ask, "What if it goes wrong?" Instead, ask, "What if this is the best thing that ever happens to me?" Remember, every adventure, every great story begins with a step into the unknown. In your life, don't let the fear of change hold you back. Don't be the rock that stays stuck while the river of life flows around it. Be the water. Move with life's changes. Trust that every turn, every twist, every unknown is taking you to where you're meant to be. If you feel fear, that's okay. Everyone does. But don't let that fear stop you. Let it be the wind beneath your wings, pushing you forward. Take small steps if you need to, but keep moving. The more you embrace change, the stronger your mind becomes. The more you face the unknown, the more you'll find that it's not as scary as you thought. In the end, it's not about being fearless. It's about feeling the fear and doing it anyway. It's about trusting that you have what it takes to handle whatever comes your way. Because you do. You are stronger than you know. And the more you embrace change, the more you will see just how strong you truly are. Remember, life is a journey, not a destination. And this journey is filled with changes, with unknowns, with new paths. Don't be afraid to take that first step. The most beautiful destinations are often found at the end of the most uncertain paths. Embrace the change. Embrace the unknown. Let it be the start of something wonderful. Inconsistent behavior and lack of principles. In the journey of life, consistency and principles are like the steady path guiding us through a forest. When our behavior lacks consistency and our principles are weak, it's as though we are wandering without a clear direction. This inconsistency often signals a weak mindset, and understanding its effects can help us become more grounded. Imagine a river that changes course unpredictably. Sometimes it flows gently, other times it rushes violently. Such a river is unreliable and difficult to navigate. Similarly, a person with inconsistent behavior may shift their actions and beliefs based on the situation or mood, making it hard for others to trust or understand them. This unpredictability can be a sign of a weak mind that struggles to establish a stable core of values and actions. Consistency in behavior means aligning our actions with our values and principles, no matter the circumstances. It's like planting a tree and nurturing it with care. If the tree's growth is uneven or if it is constantly moved from place to place, it will struggle to thrive. A person who lacks this consistency may find themselves frequently shifting their stance, reacting to immediate circumstances rather than adhering to a steady set of principles. This can lead to confusion, mistrust, and a lack of respect from others. Principles are the fundamental truths that guide our actions and decisions. They are our inner compass, helping us navigate the complexities of life. When principles are strong, they provide a solid foundation like the bedrock beneath a building. However, when they are weak or inconsistent, it's like constructing a building on unstable ground. everything becomes uncertain and prone to collapse. A person who is unsure of their principles may waver in their decisions, making choices based on convenience or external pressures rather than a clear set of values. To cultivate consistency, one must first establish a clear set of principles. Reflect on what truly matters to you. What values do you want to uphold in your daily life? How do you want to be perceived by others? These reflections will help in forming a consistent behavior pattern. Once your principles are clear, strive to act in accordance with them, even when it's challenging. This will not only strengthen your own character, but also build trust and respect in your relationships. A weak-minded person may frequently change their behavior to fit in or to avoid discomfort. This lack of commitment to personal principles can lead to a sense of instability and insecurity. It's essential to recognize this pattern and work towards establishing and maintaining a steady set of values. Doing so will help you become more reliable and grounded, making your interactions with others more meaningful and fulfilling. Consistency does not mean rigidity. It means being true to your principles while adapting to life's changes in a way that aligns with those core values. It's about having a clear vision of who you are and what you stand for, and letting that guide your actions consistently. Even when faced with challenges, a person with a strong sense of self and clear principles can navigate through difficulties with confidence and integrity. To build consistency, start by setting small, achievable goals that reflect your values. Celebrate your successes and learn from setbacks. Over time, these small steps will contribute to a more stable and reliable behavior pattern. Remember, the journey towards a more consistent and principled life is ongoing. It requires patience, self-awareness, and a commitment to personal growth. By fostering consistency and strong principles, you lay a foundation for a more resilient and empowered mindset. This not only enhances your personal growth, but also positively impacts your interactions with others. Embrace the path of consistency, and let your principles be the guiding light that helps you navigate through life's challenges with grace and clarity. Constant seeking of validation from others. I welcome my friend. Today we will talk about a common habit, one that we all experience at some point in our lives. This habit is the constant need for validation from others. Why does this matter? You may ask, why should it concern us if we want others to approve of us? Well, let us take a moment to explore this together. Imagine this scenario. You are sitting in a room full of people. Maybe it's your friends, family, or even your colleagues. You say something, and then you wait. You wait for someone to nod, to smile, to agree with what you said. When no one responds, you start to feel uneasy, worried, even anxious. Has this ever happened to you? Why do we feel this way when we don't receive immediate validation from others? In Buddhism, we talk about the idea of attachment. Attachment to material things, attachment to our desires, and yes, attachment to others' opinions. When we seek validation, we are, in essence, attaching our self-worth to what others think of us. This can become a heavy burden to carry. When our sense of self depends on others' approval, we give away our power. We let others dictate how we should feel about ourselves. Let me tell you a simple story to illustrate this. There was once a young monk who always sought praise from his teacher. Whenever he completed a task, he would look at his teacher, waiting for a smile or a nod. One day, after finishing his chores, the monk approached his teacher, hoping for approval. The teacher simply looked at him and said, "Why do you need my praise? If you did well, you should know it within yourself. If you made a mistake, learn from it. Do not rely on my words to validate your worth." The young monk was taken aback, but realized the wisdom in his teacher's words. From that day on, he worked with the intention to improve himself, rather than to seek his teacher's approval. And soon, he found a sense of peace he had never experienced before. The constant need for validation can be like a bottomless pit. No matter how much praise you receive, it never feels enough. You always want more. This creates a cycle of dependence, where you become reliant on others to feel good about yourself. But remember, my friend, true strength comes from within. It comes from knowing your own worth, independent of others' opinions. Think about the trees in a forest. They do not seek the approval of the trees around them. They grow strong and tall, rooted in the earth. They take what they need from the soil and the sun. In the same way, we must learn to be rooted in ourselves, to find our strength from within, rather than from the fleeting words of others. Why is this important? Because when we constantly seek validation, we are like a leaf in the wind. We are easily swayed by others' opinions. One moment we feel happy because someone praised us, and the next moment we feel low because someone criticized us. This makes our inner peace fragile and unstable. True peace comes from accepting ourselves as we are, without needing constant reassurance from others. A wise person once said, "You are not who others think you are. You are who you know yourself to be." Take a moment to reflect on this. How well do you know yourself? Do you rely on others to tell you your value? Or do you find that value within yourself? In Buddhist practice, we focus on mindfulness and self-awareness. By practicing mindfulness, we can observe our thoughts and feelings without getting attached to them. We become aware of the moments when we seek validation and ask ourselves why. Is it because we feel insecure? Is it because we doubt our abilities? Understanding the root cause of this need is the first step to overcoming it. There is nothing wrong with wanting to be appreciated. It is natural, but it becomes a problem when our happiness depends on it. We must learn to appreciate ourselves first, to recognize our own efforts, our own growth. When we do this, we become like the steady rock in a river. The water flows around us, but we remain firm and unmoved. Remember, my friend, seeking validation from others is like looking at your reflection in a muddy pond. It may show a distorted image, unclear and wavering. But looking within, you will find a clearer, truer reflection of yourself. One that is not altered by others' opinions or judgments. Take time each day to sit quietly and reflect on your own value. Acknowledge your strengths and accept your weaknesses. This is the path to inner peace and true strength. You do not need others to tell you who you are. You know who you are. You are enough. As you go about your daily life, remind yourself of this truth. When you find yourself seeking approval, pause and ask, why does this matter? Remind yourself that your worth does not depend on others' words. It comes from within, from knowing yourself, from being true to yourself. Let us learn to be like the sun, shining brightly on its own. It does not seek approval, yet it gives light and warmth. It is content in just being. In the same way, let us be content in being ourselves, shining in our own unique way. And so, my friend, let us walk this path with a heart full of courage and a mind full of peace. Let us free ourselves from the chains of needing others' approval and find our own inner strength. For that is the true essence of a strong mind. Reflect on this, and may it bring you closer to the inner peace you seek. Inability to handle stress or pressure. In the quiet of early morning, when the world is still and calm, imagine a gentle stream flowing effortlessly over smooth stones. This stream represents a mind that remains tranquil even when faced with life's pressures. Now, picture a river choked with debris, struggling to flow. This is like a mind that cannot handle stress. Understanding the difference between these two images is crucial to recognizing the inability to handle stress or pressure. When life brings challenges, some people react with serenity, while others find themselves overwhelmed. This difference often lies in how we manage our internal responses to external pressures. If your mind feels constantly turbulent and you find it difficult to cope with even minor stress, it may be a sign of a weak mindset. Handling stress is not just about remaining calm in the face of adversity. It involves cultivating inner strength and resilience. When faced with pressure, a weak-minded person might react with anxiety, panic, or avoidance. They may find it hard to think clearly, make decisions, or act effectively. This can lead to a cycle of stress that seems never-ending and overwhelming. Let's consider an example from daily life. Imagine you are given a challenging project at work with a tight deadline. For someone with a strong mind, this is an opportunity to apply their skills and manage their time efficiently. They remain focused, plan their tasks, and execute their work with calm determination. On the other hand, a person with a weak mindset might feel paralyzed by the pressure. They might procrastinate, feel anxious, or even avoid the task altogether. In Buddhism, handling stress is about finding balance and maintaining equanimity. The teachings encourage us to observe our thoughts and emotions without becoming entangled in them. By practicing mindfulness, we can become more aware of how stress affects us and learn to respond with greater clarity and calm. Mindfulness meditation is a tool that can help in managing stress. By sitting quietly and focusing on your breath, you can observe the rising and falling of thoughts and emotions without reacting to them. This practice helps to develop a sense of inner peace and resilience. It is like training a muscle. Over time, the more you practice, the stronger and more flexible your mind becomes. Another aspect of handling stress is learning to manage expectations. Often, we put undue pressure on ourselves by setting unrealistic goals or by fearing failure. Accepting that it is okay to face challenges and that mistakes are part of the learning process can alleviate some of the stress. In Buddhism, acceptance and non-attachment to outcomes are key principles. By embracing these ideas, you can approach challenges with a sense of calm and openness. Developing a strong mind involves cultivating habits that support mental resilience. Regular physical exercise, a balanced diet, and sufficient rest all contribute to a healthier mind. Additionally, seeking support from friends, family, or a mentor can provide valuable perspectives and encouragement when facing difficulties. Handling stress is not about eliminating pressure from your life, but rather about how you respond to it. A strong-minded person sees stress as a part of life and approaches it with patience and composure. They understand that stress can be managed through mindful practices, healthy habits, and a positive mindset. As we continue on our journey, remember that building resilience takes time and practice. Be gentle with yourself and recognize the small steps you take towards managing stress effectively. Each moment of mindfulness and each effort to maintain balance is a step towards a stronger, more resilient mind. By understanding how a weak-minded person reacts to stress and pressure, you can start to see the areas in your own life where you might need to grow. Embrace the practices that support mental resilience, and you will find yourself better equipped to handle the pressures of life with grace and strength. Emotional instability and outbursts. In our journey through life, we often encounter emotions that rise and fall like the tides of the sea. For those with a weaker mind, these emotional waves can become turbulent storms. It's not unusual to see someone who struggles with emotional instability reacting to small provocations with intense outbursts. This is a sign of a weak mind. Imagine a calm pond. When you throw a stone into it, the water ripples and then settles down. But what if the pond was constantly disturbed? The ripples would never have a chance to settle. Similarly, a person with emotional instability finds it difficult to calm their inner turmoil. They react strongly to even minor events, unable to find peace within themselves. One key to understanding this is to see how such individuals handle stress and challenges. When faced with a tough situation, they may become overwhelmed and lash out, not because of the situation itself, but because their mind is already fraught with instability. This constant state of emotional upheaval makes it hard for them to deal with life's difficulties in a balanced way. Emotional outbursts often come from a place of inner conflict and unresolved issues. When emotions are not managed well, they can lead to outbursts that seem disproportionate to the trigger. For example, a minor disagreement with a friend might lead to a major argument, simply because the person's emotional reservoir is already overflowing. In Buddhist teachings, we learn about the importance of maintaining inner peace and equanimity. A weak mind is often one that lacks this balance. It reacts to situations based on heightened emotions rather than clear, calm reasoning. This imbalance can lead to actions and words that are regretted later, causing more harm to relationships and personal well-being. To cultivate emotional stability, it is essential to practice mindfulness and self-awareness. Through meditation and reflection, one can learn to observe their emotions without being overwhelmed by them. It's like learning to be a gentle observer of the pond rather than a stone thrower. By sitting quietly and observing our emotions, we create a space where they can settle naturally rather than reacting impulsively. Practicing mindfulness helps in recognizing when emotions are beginning to rise, allowing one to address them in a more controlled and thoughtful manner. It also involves understanding the root causes of these emotions, which can often be traced back to deeper insecurities or unresolved issues from the past. Developing emotional stability takes time and effort. It requires patience and a willingness to face one's inner turmoil without judgment. It's about learning to navigate life's challenges with grace and composure, rather than being tossed around by every emotional storm. In essence, the journey to overcoming emotional instability involves nurturing a stronger, more balanced mind. It's about transforming the way we relate to our emotions and the world around us. By fostering inner peace, we build resilience against the unpredictable nature of life and learn to respond to situations with calm and clarity. Remember, the path to emotional stability is a gradual one. It's not about suppressing emotions, but about understanding and managing them in a healthy way. As we continue to explore the signs of a weak mind, keep in mind that each step toward emotional balance is a step toward a more resilient and fulfilling life. Embracing simplicity and inner peace. In our journey to staying always happy, we must understand the power of simplicity. Simplicity is not about having less. It is about appreciating what we have and finding joy in the simple things in life. This approach helps us stay grounded and focused on what truly matters, leading us to a more peaceful and contented state of mind. Imagine a beautiful garden. It's not filled with complicated designs or extravagant decorations. Instead, it thrives on the simple beauty of nature. Each flower, each leaf contributes to the garden's overall harmony. Similarly, our lives can flourish when we embrace simplicity. By focusing on simple joys and letting go of unnecessary complexities, we find ourselves naturally happier. Simplicity allows us to connect more deeply with ourselves and others. When we simplify our thoughts and actions, we clear away the mental clutter that often clouds our happiness. It's like clearing the fog to reveal a clear, bright sky. In this clarity, we find a greater appreciation for the present moment and the small things that bring us joy. In Buddhism, there is a profound concept of non-attachment. This means not clinging to material possessions, desires, or even specific outcomes. When we let go of these attachments, we release the pressure and stress that come with them. This doesn't mean we stop caring about things or people. It means we approach them with a lighter heart, free from the heavy burden of expectations. Embracing simplicity also involves being mindful of our daily actions and choices. It's about finding balance and not overcomplicating our lives. For instance, instead of worrying about having the latest gadgets or comparing ourselves to others, we focus on the meaningful experiences and relationships that truly enrich our lives. Consider a moment of mindfulness in your daily routine. When you eat, truly savor each bite. When you walk, feel each step and observe your surroundings with fresh eyes. These simple acts of mindfulness help us stay present and appreciate the richness of the moment. Finding happiness through simplicity is also about letting go of unnecessary stress. Often, we create problems for ourselves by overthinking or stressing about things that are beyond our control. By simplifying our approach to challenges, we reduce stress and make it easier to find solutions. This approach allows us to handle difficulties with a calm and centered mind. Simplicity doesn't mean a lack of ambition or goals. It means pursuing our goals with a clear and focused mind. By prioritizing what truly matters and letting go of distractions, we can achieve our goals with greater ease and satisfaction. In our quest for happiness, remember that less is often more. By simplifying our lives, we make room for genuine joy and contentment. This simplicity allows us to appreciate the beauty of the present moment and the blessings we often overlook. The path to happiness through simplicity involves self-awareness and a conscious choice to embrace the simple, meaningful aspects of life. As you walk this path, you'll find that happiness comes not from external achievements, but from an inner sense of peace and contentment. Embracing simplicity is a practice that can transform our lives. It helps us focus on what's important, let go of unnecessary stress, and find joy in the present moment. By adopting this mindset, we align ourselves with a deeper sense of peace and happiness. Inconsistent behavior and lack of principles. In the quiet of the morning, when the world is still, we often find ourselves alone with our thoughts. It is here, in this stillness, that our true self is revealed. Imagine a tree standing tall in a vast field. Its strength comes not from its height or its branches, but from its roots. If the roots are strong and deep, the tree can withstand any storm. Similarly, our behavior and principles are the roots of our character. When a person's behavior lacks consistency, it is as if their roots are shallow and fragile. One day, they may act with kindness and integrity, and the next, they might behave in a completely different way. This inconsistency is a sign of a weak mind. It shows a lack of inner strength and clarity about what is truly important. Consider the example of a person who promises to always be honest, but then lies when it is convenient. This person's behavior is not grounded in strong principles. Their actions are swayed by immediate desires or fears rather than a consistent set of values. Such inconsistency can lead to confusion and mistrust, both from others and within oneself. In Buddhism, we learn about the importance of right conduct and right intention. These teachings guide us to act with integrity and consistency. When our actions align with our values, we cultivate a strong mind. We become like a well-rooted tree, capable of enduring life's challenges without being uprooted. Inconsistent behavior often stems from a lack of self-awareness and inner conflict. When we are not clear about our values, our actions become unpredictable. This unpredictability can be unsettling, both for ourselves and those around us. It can create a sense of instability and insecurity, making it difficult to form meaningful connections and build trust. To develop consistency in our behavior, we must first cultivate self-awareness. This involves reflecting on our values and beliefs and ensuring that our actions align with them. It is about making a conscious choice to live in harmony with our principles, even when it is challenging. This alignment strengthens our mind and provides a solid foundation for our behavior. When we act with consistency, we build trust with others. People come to know what to expect from us, which fosters stronger relationships and a more stable environment. It also helps us to feel more confident and grounded, as our actions reflect our true self. This sense of alignment and authenticity is crucial for a strong mind. Practicing mindfulness can also help in developing consistent behavior. By being present in each moment and observing our actions and thoughts without judgment, we can gain insight into our motivations and intentions. This awareness allows us to make more deliberate choices that align with our values. It is important to remember that consistency does not mean rigidity. It is about being true to our values while remaining open to growth and change. A strong mind is one that is flexible yet grounded, capable of adapting to new circumstances without losing sight of its core principles. In summary, inconsistent behavior and a lack of principles are signs of a weak mind. By cultivating self-awareness, aligning our actions with our values, and practicing mindfulness, we can strengthen our character and build a more resilient mind. Just as a tree with deep roots stands firm against the wind, so too can we stand strong when our behavior is consistent and rooted in our principles. Embrace this journey of self-discovery and growth. As you work towards greater consistency in your actions, you will find that your inner strength and clarity will also grow. This process is not always easy, but it is a path worth walking. With each step, you move closer to a stronger, more grounded version of yourself. Victim mentality and self-pity. In the quiet moments of reflection, do you ever find yourself feeling like life is unfair and that the world is against you? Do you catch yourself often feeling that you are a victim of circumstances beyond your control? This mindset, where one sees oneself as perpetually at the mercy of external forces, can be a powerful sign of a weak mind. When a person constantly feels like a victim, they focus on their misfortunes and hardships, ignoring their strengths and opportunities for growth. This mindset can trap you in a cycle of self-pity, where you believe that no matter how hard you try, nothing will ever improve. It's like being stuck in a dark room, unable to see the light that might be just a step away. Consider this simple analogy. Imagine you're carrying a heavy backpack filled with stones. Each stone represents a negative experience or problem. If you continuously add more stones without ever putting any down, the burden becomes unbearable. This is similar to how a victim mentality works. By focusing on your problems and refusing to let go of past hurts, you only increase your load, making it harder to move forward. When we hold on to a victim mentality, we often neglect our ability to take charge of our lives. We might blame others for our troubles or believe that circumstances will never change. This perspective not only limits our potential, but also prevents us from seeing the possibilities that lie ahead. Let's take a step back and reflect. In moments of difficulty, how often do you find yourself saying, "This always happens to me," or "Why does this always go wrong?" Such statements reveal a mindset that is fixated on external blame rather than internal growth. It's important to recognize that while we can't control everything that happens to us, we can control how we respond to it. One way to shift from a victim mentality is to start taking responsibility for your actions and reactions. This doesn't mean blaming yourself for everything that goes wrong, but rather acknowledging that you have the power to change how you handle challenges. By focusing on what you can control, you empower yourself to make positive changes. Another key aspect of overcoming self-pity is practicing gratitude. By shifting your focus from what's wrong to what's going well, you begin to see your life from a different perspective. Gratitude can help you recognize the good things in your life and understand that while you may face difficulties, there is always something positive to hold on to. It's also helpful to set small, achievable goals. Instead of being overwhelmed by the big picture, focus on one step at a time. Each small success can build your confidence and help you move away from a victim mindset. Remember, the journey from self-pity to empowerment is not always easy. It requires patience and self-compassion. Start by acknowledging your feelings without letting them control you. Recognize that it's okay to feel down sometimes, but it's also important to take steps toward feeling better. By understanding and addressing the signs of a victim mentality, you can begin to transform your mindset. This shift doesn't happen overnight, but with persistent effort, you can move from feeling like a victim to embracing your power and potential. In the end, the key is to recognize that while you may not always control what happens to you, you always control how you respond. Embrace this power and start creating a life where you are the active creator of your own happiness and success. Emotional instability and outbursts. In the peaceful rhythm of life, there exists a silent force, our emotions. When this force is balanced, we move gracefully through life's ups and downs. Yet, when emotions become unstable, they disrupt our inner calm and lead to unpredictable outbursts. This emotional instability is a sign of a weak mind. Imagine a pond with still waters. When a stone is thrown into it, the water ripples and shakes. Similarly, an emotionally unstable person reacts to every little disturbance in their environment with intense emotional responses. They may seem calm one moment and overwhelmed the next. This erratic behavior is often a sign that their mind lacks the strength to handle emotional stress. Consider someone who is quick to anger over minor issues or who frequently experiences mood swings. These individuals may react strongly to situations that others handle with ease. For example, a person might shout at their friends over a small disagreement or cry at the slightest inconvenience. Such reactions show that their emotional state is fragile and easily disturbed. A strong mind, on the other hand, maintains a steady course even amidst life's tempests. When faced with challenges or conflicts, a person with emotional stability will respond with thoughtfulness and calm. They understand that emotions are temporary and choose not to let them control their actions. This steadiness is a sign of mental strength and resilience. Emotional instability often stems from deeper issues, such as unresolved past experiences, anxiety, or lack of self-awareness. When these underlying issues are not addressed, they manifest as outbursts and erratic behavior. It is essential to recognize these patterns and work towards developing emotional resilience. One practical way to build emotional stability is through mindfulness and self-reflection. Mindfulness helps us become aware of our emotional triggers and reactions. By observing our emotions without judgment, we can learn to respond more thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Self-reflection allows us to understand the root causes of our emotional responses and make conscious efforts to address them. Another approach is to practice emotional regulation techniques. This includes strategies such as deep breathing, meditation, and journaling. These practices help us manage our emotions effectively and maintain a balanced state of mind. By integrating these techniques into our daily routine, we can gradually build emotional strength and stability. It is also beneficial to seek support from others. Talking to a trusted friend or therapist about our emotional struggles can provide valuable insights and coping strategies. Sometimes, just expressing our feelings and concerns can help alleviate emotional stress and foster a sense of relief. Building emotional stability takes time and effort. It requires us to confront and address our emotional vulnerabilities rather than avoid them. As we become more aware of our emotional patterns and work towards managing them, we can cultivate a stronger, more resilient mind. In conclusion, emotional instability and outbursts are clear indicators of a weak mind. By recognizing these signs and taking proactive steps to build emotional resilience, we can move towards a more balanced and harmonious state of being. Embracing mindfulness, emotional regulation, and seeking support are key steps in this journey. Through these practices, we can strengthen our mind and create a more peaceful, stable emotional life. Conclusion: transforming a weak mind into a strong one. As we come to the end of our journey, it is important to reflect on what we have learned about the signs of a weak-minded person and how we can transform ourselves. Understanding these signs is the first step, but knowing is not enough. Action is required to make lasting change. The path to a stronger mind starts with self-awareness. Recognize the signs we discussed, such as lack of self-control, fear of change, or constant seeking of validation. These are not permanent flaws, but rather signals that guide us to areas where we can grow. By acknowledging them, you can start working on these areas to build mental strength. First, practice self-discipline and self-control. Start with small daily tasks and gradually challenge yourself with bigger goals. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Next, embrace change as a natural part of life. Understand that change brings opportunities for growth. Each new experience, even if it feels uncomfortable, is a chance to learn and expand your mind. It is also crucial to stop seeking validation from others. Instead, focus on self-acceptance. Build a sense of inner confidence that is not dependent on external approval. Remember, true strength comes from within, not from others' opinions. Handling stress is another vital aspect. Practice mindfulness and relaxation techniques to manage stress better. This will help you stay calm and focused, even in challenging situations. Take responsibility for your actions. Instead of blaming others, look inward and see what you can do differently. Personal accountability is a powerful tool for personal growth and mental strength. Cultivate resilience by facing your fears and stepping out of your comfort zone. Each time you confront a fear, you strengthen your resilience and reduce the impact of future challenges. Learn to let go of overthinking and past regrets. Focus on the present moment and take actionable steps towards your goals. The present is where you have the power to make changes. Establish a set of principles and stick to them. Consistent behavior and clear values provide a strong foundation for a resilient mindset. Make decisions that align with your principles and avoid actions that deviate from them. Develop a positive mindset by practicing gratitude and optimism. Acknowledge the good in your life and use it as motivation to keep moving forward. This shift in perspective will help you see challenges as opportunities rather than obstacles. Finally, practice emotional stability. Recognize your emotions, but do not let them control you. Respond to situations calmly and thoughtfully. This will help you maintain balance and composure, even in difficult times. As you reflect on these steps, remember that building a strong mind is a continuous journey. It requires patience, practice, and perseverance. The more you invest in developing mental strength, the more you will see positive changes in your life. Thank you for joining us on this journey. May the insights and practices shared guide you toward a more resilient and empowered mindset. Continue to seek wisdom and growth, and remember that every challenge is an opportunity to become stronger. If you found this video valuable, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel Wisdom Woven. Your support encourages us to create more content that helps you on your journey of self-improvement. Farewell, and may you find strength and wisdom in every step you take.